Hi, I'm Melinda Rose.
And I'm Laura Marshall.
And this is Light Matters for August 31st, 2011.
Well, Melinda, you recently returned from sunny San Diego.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that I was the one in California and you all here on the East Coast actually got an earthquake while I was gone. I was attending the SPIE Optics and Photonics show, and that was also shaking things up.
So how was the show? Tell us about it.
It went pretty well. SPIE officials were pleased with the attendance. It appeared to be up significantly from last year, particularly in the exhibit area. SPIE said that just under 5,000 people attended the week-long event, which was one of the highest counts they've had in recent years. We had a great event at our own booth at the show promoting this Light Matters newscast and asking people to tell us how light mattered to them. And we will share many of their responses at the end of the newscast over the next few weeks. Every other year, Optics and Photonics features a focus on astronomy. This year, that focus was also reflected in the Photonics for a Better World Pavilion, which was organized by SPIE's Pamela Robertson. The pavilion showcased a number of organizations using photonics technologies for the betterment of the global community. One of the astronomy-related exhibits was by Ryan Hanaho of Astronomical Photography, who combines art and science by helping people enhance digital images they take of the nighttime sky.
10 years ago, I was part of the first team that put a telescope on the internet for students and teachers to use. It was funded by the Toyota Corporation and ran by a university in Denver. And back in high school, I was able to control a telescope 2,000 miles away. I was in Pennsylvania at the time. There was a telescope in New Mexico. And so I got involved with SPIE through that project and actually presented a research here at a SPIE meeting.
What kind of response do you get from people to your exhibit?
You know, when we do the astronomical imaging booklets like we have here on the table, a lot of people come by, they want to know how we make images, how do you produce the pretty pictures that you see in textbooks and magazines. So we walk through that here with them in a program much like Photoshop, and sometimes we're able to even control a telescope over the internet as well. This is an image called the Lagoon Nebula. And so when we start out with it, and by the way, this is 22 hours worth of data. When I start out in Photoshop, it looks something like this. And we do standard levels and curves to slowly bring it out. And when we're at our final product, this is the image that we see. So it's a totally night and day difference from what you're seeing. But in terms of this, it's visually pleasing to the eye. And it's a lot more useful for the general public to learn about the nighttime sky.
And is it just useful to the general public, or can astronomers use the images?
Well, in terms of this type of photography, it's more of combining art and science. So you get people interested in science by showing them more of the artistic side. If you want to do science, we can use imagery taken with spectrometers, and we look at stars. This is more of the artistic side.
Optorobotics, we're spin out from the Danish Technical University, and what we're doing is a new way of doing cell sorting. Actually, there's a lot of things that we can do very different from the way where cell sorting is happening today with fluorescence activated cell sorting. We're solving some of the problems that the traditional method has. What we're seeing here on the computer screen is the cell sorter in action. The basic principle is that we're identifying the cells, or in this case beads we want, and then we're using our optical trapping technology to catapult these from one flow stream into a different flow stream, and that way we're sorting the cells. So that's the very basic concept that we're using. And over here we have a prototype of the cell box, as we're calling it. It's a optofluidic cell sorter. In time, we're working on parallelizing the system so you can actually work with whole blood, and the example being looking for circulating tumor cells in cancer patients for cancer diagnostics, prognostics, and disease management. So this is a very hot area within research, but the problem is that while other technologies can identify these circulating tumor cells and see that they're there, none of them can actually extract them and keep them in suspension for further downstream analysis. And this is something that we can do with this technology. So we expect a lot from it.
Optorobotics has a U.S. office in Palo Alto, California, and is looking for strategic partners in venture capital to bring its technology to market.
Also making news at the show was specialty glass maker Schott, which announced it will produce chalcogenide glass in the U.S. for the first time. The new manufacturing line will be based at Schott North America's plant in Duryea, Pennsylvania. Because of their high transmission quality across a wide range of the infrared spectrum, chalcogenide glasses are used in defense applications such as night vision and thermal imaging, and also offer advantages over germanium in many IR applications.
Well, that's almost it for this edition of Light Matters, but we want to remind you that you still have a chance to win an iPad too. Simply share the link to this video or any other episode of Light Matters with a friend or colleague by September 30th, and make sure you copy lightmatters@photonics.com on the email you sent, and you'll be entered into a drawing to win an iPad too.
We'd also like to hear from you. Please send your questions or comments to lightmatters@photonics.com. You can also follow Photonics Media on Facebook and Twitter.
Thanks for watching, and remember, it's only 5 minutes to enlightenment.
I'm a student right now. I've only been going to school for about 3 or 4 months, but light matters to me because we're going through a evolution with light. You know, it's going from copper to fiber, and I know fiber deals with light. I'm not going to really sit up here and speak like I know a lot about light, but you know, from what I'm learning in school, everything is transferring from copper to fiber optics. So light is very important, and I would actually like to get to know a lot more about it. So that's what light means to me.
Well, for one thing, every time I open my eyes in the morning, there's light there for me to see what's going on. As somebody who's been myopic since at least age 8, optics has been very important to me, making sure that I can see things and I don't get eaten up by saber-toothed tigers and all that. Light matters. I mean, all my scientific career was around light and lasers and what we do with it. So to me, it's made my life fun. And everything from the usual, you know, the CDs, the plasma screen TVs, even the fact that we can go in the streets and there's red light, green light, yellow light is useful.